Welcome back. 4th of July weekend is upon us, a time when everyone in this country can take a breath and acknowledge how great this country really is.
Absolutely. For more, let's bring in the owner and CEO of At Your American Flag store, James Stockey. James, great to see you. Happy early 4th of July. This isn't your first time on NEWSMAX. What happened last time you appeared on the network?
Last time I was here, I was on Rob Schmitt show to talk about how cancel culture was affecting our business. Specifically at that time, it was Facebook who had suspended our ad privileges. To this day, they're still
suspended. They're still suspended? I didn't realize that. Wow.
They're still suspended. We're still no longer allowed to do advertising. And the thing is even if they were to contact and say, hey, we're now going to change our decision and allow you to advertise, it wouldn't be very smart for us to depend on them for that when they could just do the same thing again.
Okay.
So there's really no point in us really exploring that anymore. We really kind of need some kind of agreement, really, so that we could be secure in advertising.
James, now I want to ask you this quickly for people who may not have seen you on with Rob Schmitt. What is so controversial? What are you doing that is so darn controversial?
Apparently, we made a flag with President Trump on it. My wife painted a hand-painted, full-color portrait of President Trump on a flag. A customer, we didn't originally post it, a customer. And they tagged us in it, and Facebook got wind of that, and that's where everything started.
What was, just very quickly, because I do want to get to your flags, but what did Facebook say to you was the reason why you could not advertise with them anymore?
They were very vague. But they said that we violated their community standards, as I believe the term that they use.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard term they use. I've heard that.
It was a broad brush.
Yeah, but now I do want to get to the more important story. Is what inspired you to start making these handmade wooden flags?
Our son came into our garage one morning when he was 6. This was 4 years ago, and asked if he could start a business. So we kind of reluctantly, okay, sure, we can start it. But he wanted to make American flags with his mom doing the artwork on them. I make all the flags, and my wife does every single star by hand. She does all the portraits, all of the lettering, every bit of artwork is done by hand. So all of our flags are made to order. So when a customer calls to order one, we begin making it then. It's not something that we make, we put up on a shelf, wait for someone to buy, and then kind of ship off a random flag to them. Every flag is made for the specific. That's what really makes us very unique.
Busiest time of year for you right now?
Yes, sir. Very busy.
And what?
That's good.
This Facebook cancel is when you were this cancel culture in this Facebook situation, all because you had a picture of Donald Trump on an American flag, 45th president of the United States, by the way. How's that affected your business?
Well, for the first month before the Rob Schmitt interview, it was very stressful. It was not looking. Every place we were going to market, it was just slamming doors to us. So when we were on Rob's show, it was a miracle that we've been praying for. We got about 9 months worth of orders that night. But what happened the next day is kind of a really big part of this story is that so NEWSMAX stepped in and kind of saved our business. And the next morning when we went out there, we went out to order the wood and order all the materials, and we just started working. We went to pay for that wood, and we found out that all of the money, every cent that we had taken in from the NEWSMAX viewers had been was frozen by PayPal. They continued to hold that money for 11 months. During that process, Harmeet Dillon and the Center for American Liberty found out about what was going on, and Harmeet called us and said, hey, you're good at making flags. You make flags. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to take on PayPal, and I'm going to take on Facebook for you.
Wow.
So she straightened out most of our problems with them. But after 11 months of Harmeet fighting for us, PayPal still wanted to hold on to $10,000 and then said, if you sign in non-disclosure, we'll give you back your money. If you don't, we're not going to give it back. Obviously, we didn't go for that. Harmeet didn't go for that. She stood strong, and they eventually gave us all of our money back. But it took a big-time lawyer. And keep in mind, we can't afford a lawyer like Harmeet Dillon. So she came, she donated her service, she helped us out. And eventually we got all of our money and could go back into business, but we couldn't start making these flags that we took in from the Rob Schmitt for about about 6 months after because we were fighting for that money.
Well, I'm
So that
glad.
ended up leading us to kind of protest and start Freedom Fest. It's kind of it's obviously a celebration for Independence Day, but it's kind of a celebration for our business as an American-owned business to kind of really shove it in big tech space that we made it. They're not going to take this down. We got people like NEWSMAX and others that are in Harmeet that are fighting for us and keeping the word out that what we're doing.
Yeah. We're so glad that you're able to make these flags, and we know that our viewers are very supportive of you. You have something going on this weekend in Tennessee. Can you quickly tell us about that?
Yeah, we started hosting Freedom Fest, so we invite all of our VIP contacts, our customers from all over the country. We've got about 70 people flying in from all over the country to join us, and what we do is we really trying to promote awareness for anti-cancel culture legislation. We're trying to get a hold of Marsha Blackburn and Bill Haggerty, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz. We want to get all these people involved so we can if it's very hard for them to draft any type of cancel culture unless they talk to someone who's really been through it. So we're hoping that we can talk with them and get some anti-cancel culture legislation started. And also, Freedom Fest is about raising money for our wounded warriors. So we teamed up with Chris Peranto and the Fourth Hour Foundation, and we're going to be having a silent auction this weekend to raise money for them.
James, have a good weekend. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, guys.
Don't be a stranger. Come back and see us soon. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.